Welcome to Have You Read It, the channel where we bring books to life, one summary at a time. Whether you're here for self-help, personal growth, or business inspiration, there's something for everyone. Today, we're exploring Simon Sinek's The Infinite Game. This book isn't just another business manual. It's a profound exploration of leadership and how we approach life itself, not just in the boardroom, but also in our personal lives. Sinek introduces us to a powerful concept, the difference between finite and infinite games. Finite games, like football or chess, have known players, fixed rules, and a clear objective: to win. Infinite games, like business, relationships, or life itself, are different. The players may be known and unknown, the rules can change, and the primary objective isn't to win but to keep playing, to perpetuate the game. Sinek argues that many business leaders today operate with a finite mindset in an infinite game, focusing on short-term wins, beating the competition, and achieving arbitrary metrics. This, he says, leads to a decline in trust, cooperation, and innovation within organizations. He uses the example of Microsoft's Zune, a technically superior product to Apple's iPod, that ultimately failed due to Microsoft's finite mindset focused on beating Apple, rather than advancing a larger vision. In contrast, leading with an infinite mindset means building an organization that can outlast its leaders, focusing on a just cause, building trusting teams, studying worthy rivals, preparing for existential flexibility, and demonstrating the courage to lead. A just cause, according to Sinek, is a specific vision of a future state that doesn't yet exist. It's a cause so inspiring that people are willing to make sacrifices to help advance it. He uses the powerful story of Nikolai Vavilov, a Russian botanist who dedicated his life to ending hunger, and whose team of scientists during the siege of Leningrad starved to death rather than eat the seeds they were protecting for future generations. A just cause isn't just a catchy slogan. It needs to meet 5 criteria. It must be for something affirmative and optimistic, inclusive, open to all, service-oriented, primarily benefiting others, resilient, able to endure change, and idealistic, big, bold, and ultimately unachievable. He points out how many organizations' mission statements are generic, self-centered, or too vague to qualify as a just cause. For example, Vizio's mission to deliver high performance, smarter products at a significant savings, while laudable, is unlikely to inspire deep commitment. The next key practice is building trusting teams. Sinek emphasizes the importance of psychological safety, where people feel comfortable being vulnerable, admitting mistakes, and asking for help. He shares the story of Rick Fox, a tough oil rig manager who transformed his team's safety and performance by creating a culture of vulnerability. Trusting teams, Sinek argues, outperform teams of high-performing individuals who don't trust each other. Ethical fading is another critical concept explored in the book. Sinek defines it as a condition in a culture that allows people to act in unethical ways, while falsely believing that they have not compromised their own moral principles. He uses the example of Wells Fargo, where employees opened millions of fake accounts due to intense pressure to meet sales targets. Sinek argues that ethical fading is often fueled by self-deception, where individuals and organizations rationalize their unethical behavior through euphemisms, blaming the system, or the slippery slope of increasingly larger transgressions. The concept of worthy rivals is also crucial for infinite-minded leaders. A worthy rival isn't a competitor to be beaten, but another player in the game whose strengths and abilities push us to improve. Sinek shares a personal anecdote about how viewing another author as a competitor fueled his insecurity, until he reframed the relationship as one of rivalry and mutual respect. He notes how Alan Mulally, upon becoming Ford's CEO, challenged his team by having them drive competitor cars, acknowledging their strengths. Sinek also introduces the idea of existential flexibility, which is the willingness to drastically change a business model or strategy to better advance the just cause. He uses the example of Walt Disney leaving his successful studio to build Disneyland, a more tangible and evolving expression of his vision. Finally, Sinek emphasizes the courage to lead, which involves challenging conventional wisdom and making decisions that prioritize the just cause over short-term gains. He highlights CVS's decision to stop selling cigarettes, despite the predicted financial hit, as an example of courageous leadership. The key takeaway from The Infinite Game is that lasting success isn't about winning, but about continuing to play, about building organizations and living lives that are inspired by a just cause, fueled by trust, and constantly striving to be better. Thanks for watching. Have you read it? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next book exploration.